So hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of lesson 3 here at P101 online course. As we saw in the first part, we were talking about the verbs to be in Portuguese, the verbs ser and estar, and now we are going to talk about some cultural aspects related to that. We will do some exercises and I will bring you some conversation topics. Alright, so let me talk about a really interesting poem by Brazilian world-renowned poet Carlos Drummond de Andrade. So Carlos is a modernist Brazilian poet from Minas Gerais. His work is really well studied and popular around the world, and his work in a way translates the vision of his individual compromise to the social reality in the country. And I think it's really important for you to look at some of his works. I've recently read his book called Sentimento do Mundo, which is a really famous work and really interesting to read. We can talk about him later on if you want, and please search and read some of his works. But today I bring you a interesting poem that is related to our grammar aspect of lesson 3, which is verb to be. Specifically, this poem is called Verbo ser, which means the verb to be, the verb ser, as we saw last class. So let me read it to you. You can follow it in our PDF material located just down below this video. So let's start. Verbo ser. Quem vai ser quando crescer? Vivem perguntando em redor. Quem é ser? É ter um corpo, um jeito, um nome? Tenho os três, e sou? Tenho de mudar quando crescer? Usar outro nome, corpo e jeito? Ou a gente só principia a ser quando cresce? É terrível ser? Dói? É bom? É triste? Ser, pronunciado tão depressa e cabe tantas coisas. Repito, ser, ser, ser. R. Que vou ser quando crescer? Sou obrigado a... Posso escolher? Não dá para entender. Não vou ser. Vou crescer assim mesmo. Sem ser, esquecer. So this is a really interesting poem. I've seen a Vimeo video about a social work here in Brazil with unprivileged children, and it's really interesting how they work with this poem in terms of the verb to be, because they talk about the future of those kids, what they will be when they grow up, and I think this general idea of future sense, talking about being, and what you will become, this is a really interesting theme here at the poem. But this is just a general introduction to this poem. We can talk about it later, and it's a really simple work of him, but Of course, it is simple but brilliant and well built around this theme of the verb to be, verbo ser. Alright? So, as we've already talked about Carlos here and about his poem, we should move on to some exercise related to the verb to be. Alright? So, here we have some phrases, and I just want you to read those and understand if we need to use the verb ser or the verb estar. So you should notice the difference between them so we can use it here and translate appropriately. Alright? So let's start with this first one. Here I have, I won the lottery. I'm so happy. So the person here is happy because of a present situation, an immediate happening in his life. So this is a transitory state. So in this case, we should use the verb estar. So, eu ganhei a loteria, eu estou tão feliz. So, eu estou. So, eu estou tão, sou, feliz, happy, alright? So, eu ganhei a loteria, eu estou muito feliz, alright? So, that's it. Next one. My Portuguese teacher is a happy person. So in this case, we can understand that this teacher here has a positive character. His personality is led us to conclude that he is a happy person. So this is a more permanent state that this teacher has. In this sense, we should use the verb ser. So here we have, meu professor de português é uma pessoa feliz. So, é, alright? Meu professor de português é uma pessoa feliz. Alright? Now here, Juliana never helps her friends. She is a selfish person. Again, because of her common behavior, we can conclude that she has a selfish personality. In that sense, we have a permanent state, and we need to use the verb to be in the verb form, in the Portuguese form of the verb ser. So we have, she is a selfish person, ela é uma pessoa egoísta, alright? So, Juliana nunca ajuda seus amigos. Ela é uma pessoa egoísta. Alright? Again here. Verbo ser, and verbo estar in the first one. Now the last one here we have, they are angry because they lost the match. So when we say that they are angry, it's because of a specific situation in the present time. In that sense, this is not a permanent situation, but a transitory behavior. In that sense, we should use the verb estar. So, eles estão bravos, nervosos. Eles estão bravos porque eles perderam a partida. Alright? So, here we have two permanent conditions, permanent characteristics, and then we have two transitory situations that demonstrate a present and a specific situation. Alright? Is it clear? I I think it is really important for you to notice this difference, so when you translate that from English to Portuguese, you can appropriately choose the two verb forms. But as you know, in English the situation is more simple because you just have to conjugate the verb to be, alright, in all those situations. Okay, let's move to our conversation topic. So today I would like to talk about the days of the week and days of the week and some time relations. Alright, so the usual relation we have here are segunda, terça, quarta, quinta, sexta, sábado e domingo. Segunda means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, segunda, terça, quarta, quinta, sexta, sábado e domingo. Then please repeat it with me. Then we have here the time relations. Alright, you should repeat those words so you can correctly pronounce them. You should stop the video and then follow my speaking. Alright, now let's move on to the second part here. Here we're talking about the time relations that we somewhat try to relate to the days of the week. For example, we have the words hoje. Hoje means today. Ontem means yesterday. Amanhã means tomorrow. Esta semana means this week. Próxima semana means next week. And semana passada means last week. So, hoje, ontem, amanhã, esta semana, próxima semana, semana passada. So, today, yesterday, tomorrow, this week, next week, and last week. Alright, so we have here the 7 days of the week, the time relations we can use in phrases. Please memorize them because it will be really useful, alright? When you come to Brazil or you meet a Brazilian and you want to arrange a meeting, or arrange a visit, a travel, a trip, alright? It's usually important to understand the dates, the days of the week, so you do not get confused along the way, alright? Just to complete that, we should take a look at some of our some of example sentences. For example, quando é a prova de matemática? Amanhã. Here we can translate it. When is the maths test? Tomorrow. I mean, maths tests are really scary, so you should hurry and study. Alright? So here, another one. Qual é o prazo para entrega do trabalho? Sexta-feira. So, when is the deadline to submit the work? Friday. We should notice here that we have this and here that complements. This is optional, but some people say that in a more formal environment you may find this. So you can use all those days of the weeks from Monday to Friday and complement that with this word feira, alright? Of course, when talking about Saturday and Sunday, you cannot use this and, so you just have sábado and domingo. But when you're talking segunda, you can talk Instead of it, you can say segunda-feira, then terça-feira, quarta-feira, quinta-feira, and sexta-feira. Then you only have sábado and domingo. Alright? So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching this second part of lesson 3 from P101 online course. Please send us an email if you have any doubts. Please download our PDF material located here below our video, and we will also talk about our new initiative to give some live lessons to you guys so we can have a more dynamic environment, but we'll talk about it later. Alright, so thank you very much for watching this video. See you next class.